Hey y'all, it's your girl Charity B, and welcome to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. This podcast was designed for both men and women who are in the process or wanting to start their self-love journey. Here we discuss many topics related to self-love that promotes healthy habits that will help support your mental and emotional health, boost self-confidence, and self-worth. So get ready. This is something you don't want to miss. If you like what you hear in this episode, feel free to DM me and leave comments on my Instagram page at iam.enoughmsl. The podcast is also available on YouTube. The link will be in my description box as well as on my Instagram page. Some of us think that being a good person means being easy to deal with, easy to love, easy to forgive, easy to need. But you don't realize that while you were making life easier for everyone else, you are making yourself smaller. You can be the person everyone loves and still be the person who feels lost. Because being loved for who you accommodate is different from being valued for who you are. Sometimes being too nice isn't kindness. It's a pattern we created to protect ourselves. It's becoming the person who avoids conflict, carries the weight for everyone else, and puts their own needs aside because being needed feels safer than being vulnerable. But what happens when the version of you that everyone loves is the version that keeps you from growing? Today, we're talking about when being liked starts costing you the life you deserve. Hey y'all, it's your girl Charity B, and welcome back to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. If you are new here, welcome. I am glad that you chose to tune in and take a step forward into loving yourself on a deeper level. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. My hope for each of you is that today's episode gives you something meaningful to carry forward, whether it's a reminder to embrace your journey, tools to help you evolve into the best version of yourself, or insight you can apply in your everyday life. Whatever it is that you need, I hope you find it here. Well, y'all. Welcome back to another great episode. This is episode 13, Being Too Nice Delayed My Growth. Let's first talk about being nice versus being safe. Some people do things to feel emotionally safe or because it probably was the safest thing to do in that moment in order to avoid conflict. They either wanted approval, fear of being rejected, wanting everyone to like them, or just not wanting to appear difficult. Being too nice often becomes emotional protection. It's not about being mean. It's about understanding the difference between kindness and authenticity. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want to or because I'm afraid of how people will react? Do you find yourself agreeing when you actually want to disagree? Laughing at things that aren't really funny, or pretending you are okay for the sake of others? Do you also feel like you're shrinking your opinions, avoiding difficult conversations? Doing all these things shows that being nice became a personality instead of a choice. But the thing is, people stop knowing the real you when you are always trying to manage their comfort. At this point, it becomes your identity. And without you even realizing it, you start just doing these things naturally because it's the safest thing to do emotionally. But like always, there is always a cost to doing things that make you feel comfortable. So what is the cost of staying easy to handle? Every yes costs you something. Every time you play it safe, it costs you something. Not negotiating your salary, not asking for help, staying quiet in meetings, not promoting yourself, letting other people receive credit that is owed to you, waiting to be chosen, didn't charge your worth, didn't launch your business, didn't post your content. How many opportunities have you talked yourself out of because you didn't want to be too much or you were too scared to take a risk? If you're sitting here listening and you can say there is a time where you feel as though you had an opportunity and you turned it down because you were scared or afraid, either whether it was because you didn't want to offend others or it because you were scared of what the outcome could be, it may or may not be a bad choice. That stops today. We're not doing that anymore moving forward. We are no longer going to minimize our wants, our needs, the things that we deserve for the comfort of others. We are not responsible for other people's comfort. We deserve to live how we want to live and be the person we want to be and to have the opportunities that we are deserving of. If you're still sitting here and you're still hesitant about wanting to take that step and not trying to manage other people's comfort because, you care about this person and you just don't know. Let's talk about this. Why do people reward the nice version of you anyways? People naturally enjoy the version of you that requires nothing. No work, no effort, just easy going. Think about it. The nice version never says no, never asks questions, never pushes back, never outgrew or outgrown people. So why would I want you to be mean or have boundaries? Because it benefits me. Why? It benefits me. They're not looking out for you. They don't like the nice version of you because they like you or they are valuing the fact that you're a genuine person and you look out for other people you care for. No, they like you the way you are because it's beneficial for them. It's for their own selfish needs. And the moment that you change, they ask, well, what happened to that version of you? You changed. Do you think you're better than everyone else? You're different. And not questioning in a supportive way, but in a way that's not happy because they no longer have the advantage. They can no longer use you. And the truth is, you have become a healthier version of yourself. Your growth often disappoints people who benefited from the old you, from the boundaries you lacked, but that you started to gain. That's the truth. And thinking about all of that, thinking that people don't really value me for who I am authentically. They value what they can get from me. If you feel as though you're in a situation where someone is gaining from your losses, I can understand if it's like a give and take thing. They give you value and you give them value, or your niceness benefits them and their niceness benefits you. And you can say they do exactly the same thing that you do, the sacrifices that you do for them. They manage your comfort like you manage their comfort. But if you can sit there and think of some type of relationship that you have going on in your life, intimate, non-intimate, no matter what it is, any type of relationship, and you feel like it's a one-way street and they're gaining more than you are, switch up. I dare you. I dare you to take a chance on yourself and just switch up, change, start saying no, start setting boundaries. If they respond in a way that is questioning versus being supportive of your change, there's your answer right there. That's all you need to know. That's your proof to move on. And I'm sure there's cases that you're like, how did I get here? How did I get this way? How did I become so nice to where it's detrimental to me in my life? Well, it's a learned behavior. Rather, if it's because you learned it through conflict, wasn't easy, or learning love has to be earned, or being needed feels and means you are valuable, or approval feels like your security. It's a learned behavior through your insecurities. But let's shift the mindset that being nice is the key to being valued. It's time to end that cycle of sacrificing ourselves, our opportunities, and our goals just to keep everyone else comfortable. We're no longer going to settle for survival. We are going to choose to thrive. Let's stop chasing approval and start earning respect. Stop thinking to make room for others and start taking up the space you deserve. Boundaries are only the beginning. Now it's time to stand confidently in who you are. Own your voice, protect your peace, and stop apologizing for putting yourself first. Know the difference between being liked and being respected. Being liked is temporary, it's emotional, it's dependent on others. As though respected is consistent, it's earned, and it comes from honoring yourself. People respect you after they stop getting unlimited access to you. When you put your foot down and demand your respect, that's when people don't play about you. They learn to not play about you. The goal is not for everyone to like you. It's for you to like the life you are building and yourself. And don't let yourself get in a moment where you actually got the power. And I mean, you telling whoever it is in your life, like, you don't respect me, you don't care about me, you don't value me, I'm removing myself. When you do those things, people start getting frantic. They start, oh no, they about to leave me. They about to not talk to me no more. They don't want to be my friend no more. They don't want to be in my circle. And they start realizing that you are the person that's in their corner. And they start being like, oh no, I can't have this. Of course, because when you find genuine people, it's best to keep them in your corner and keep them happy. But it takes for you to hear me say, nah, this not it. This not working. I'm about to remove myself, for you to understand how valuable and important I am to you. I think that's BS. Yes, that is possible, but you still don't get access to me right here and there. I understand that now you realize. I'm glad you see the bigger picture. But just because I have the power in my hand, I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to say, okay, oh yeah, now they realize it. Now I can just go about my business, or I can just pretend I didn't say it and we can work it out. No. Because I promise you, just because they said that now they realize it does not mean that they're going to change or they're going to do anything differently after that. You have to give people some time and some space to actually miss you, don't talk to you, and don't have you in their corner, and see how well they fend for themselves. See how well they actually miss you. So don't get too excited when you actually have the power and you got them by is it the cojones? I don't know what they call it in Spanish, but that you got them by, you got them in your hands. You can crush them in 2.5 seconds. Keep it like that. Keep having the ball in your corner until you're ready, until you see a change in how those people look at you and treat you. Until you feel as though you're getting the respect you deserved and you feel valued by those people. Because it's nice for somebody to say, okay, yeah, I see you about to leave. I'm running around like the world's about to end. Let it end for them. Because when I didn't get like this and I didn't tell you this, you wasn't moving swiftly enough. You wasn't moving with intentions. You act like you didn't give a care. You didn't give a care about losing me or treating me like I should be treated. So let them, if they say I don't want to lose you, that's totally fine. I don't want to lose me either, baby. But I have to do what's best for me. And what that is I'm still going to remove myself, although it hurts me to leave you. But I'm going to let you try to figure it out on your own and let you know what it looked like on the other side of that grass. And then when I feel as though, if I feel like I want you back in my life and I feel like you value me and treat me better, I might reconsider. Might, and heavy on the might. But let people miss you a little bit. And I'm not talking about for some weeks or some days. I'm talking about let them miss you. Maybe you may not even hear from me till next year. If you hear from me at all. Okay. and learn to become visible again. Like I said, when you start managing other people's comfort, that becomes your identity. Like you are an assistant for them, managing their life, managing their comfort, that you lose the sight of who you are and you become invisible. When you constantly shrink yourself, avoid conflict, or prioritize everyone else's comfort over your own, you slowly do become invisible. You silence your voice, you downplay your potential, and miss opportunities that were meant for you. And you think that's just keeping you safe, but it's really keeping you behind and left behind. The truth is, people rarely remember those who always played it safe. They remember the ones who took risks, embraced opportunities, and had the courage to show up fully as themselves. Growth doesn't come from making yourself smaller. It comes from taking up space, trusting your abilities, and refusing to let fear or people pleasing dictate your life. Start taking up space. Speak first. Share your ideas. Celebrate your wins loudly. Apply anyway. So what if you don't get it? You applied. Apply again. Ask questions. Negotiate. Correct people when they misunderstand you. And sometimes I used to do this. For instance, when people didn't get my name right, I used to just carry on because my name is Charity. People used to confuse it with Chastity, or I don't know. I think people in this generation are a little slow too, because when I went to college, I started going to college in 2016, and I went to the Chick-fil-A on campus, and they didn't know I would say Charity. Now, for the longest, I'm a little country, so one of my boyfriends told me that I don't pronounce my name correct either, but I'm like, it's my name, how you gonna tell me how I pronounce my name? But I think he was right. I'm a little country. I would say Charity with a D. It sounds like that, but I'm country. That's how I say my name. It don't matter. It's Charity. I don't know, it still doesn't sound like what they would spell it like. And I would just carry on. But then one day I'm like, no, this is my name. My mama gave me this name. And the reason behind why she gave me my name is not because of Charity Brent, but charity means love. If you read the Bible, that's where it's at in 2 Corinthians. It means love. That's why she named me Charity. But I correct people these days. Get it right. Charity. Nothing else. Not Sherry, not Cherry, not Chastity. It's Charity. Spell it right. And that right there is just a simple, small way of demanding your respect. You can be remembered just off of that. She didn't allow me to rename her what I wanted to say. She demanded her respect and said, no, this is my name and this is how you spell it. And you don't have to be rude about it, but no, that's incorrect. My name is such and such, and carry on by your day. Moral of the story, start taking up space. If you're someone who apologizes all the times after every sentence, stop it, quit it. I don't know how you gonna get a rubber band. Every time you say I'm sorry, pop yourself with it. Start taking up space. Space that you are owed, that you are due. You're valuable as well. You deserve respect. Stand up. Sit up straight. Correct your posture. Walk with your head up. Walk like you got confidence, like you're going somewhere. I don't care what job you do. You don't even have to be a doctor, lawyer. You don't even have to be all those things. I don't care. You could be working at a fast food joint. You could be working at Amazon. You could be working from home. I don't care. Sit up straight. Walk like you are that person. I don't cuss on my podcast. I try not to. But walk like you're going somewhere, that you are somebody. And become comfortable disappointing people. It's okay. I love disappointing people. That's like one of my hobbies. I don't really care. As long as I'm happy and it benefits me and I'm taking care of me and I'm putting me first, I'm okay with that. Know the difference between being comfortable disappointing people and setting boundaries. They are two different things. Boundaries are accepting that not everyone will agree with, benefit, or like the limits you set. They simply define what you will and won't accept, like listing your communication needs, limits, and expectations, protecting your time, energy, and peace. It's simply basically what you say. Becoming comfortable disappointing people is accepting people will be upset, frustrated, or disappointed with your decisions. It's letting go of the need to fix their feelings or earn their approval. Choosing your growth even when it makes someone else uncomfortable. So it's simply the feelings after you say it. Boundaries teach people how to treat you. Becoming comfortable disappointing people teaches you that someone else's reaction doesn't have to control your decisions. Understanding that growth does require you to disappoint some people, and you have to be okay with that. So it's time to rebuild your identity. First, you need to ask the hard questions. Who am I if I'm not the one always helping? Who am I if I stop fixing everyone? Who am I if I'm not always available? It's okay to grieve the identity that earned you approval, to feel accepted, loved, or safe. Understand that you are not losing yourself, you are meeting yourself. That can look like many things. It could be you missing the version of you everyone praised, feeling guilty when you stop saying yes, feeling lonely because some relationships dynamics change, when you stopped overgiving. It can lead to you questioning if you are too mean when you are actually being honest. It can also look like resisting the urge to explain every decision to avoid misunderstanding. And right here, it's important to understand that over-explaining kind of feels like begging, and that's not what we're doing anymore. We're not over-explaining, and I don't like to beg. That's just not something that I'm like to do that gives desperate, and we're not desperate. So trying to resist that urge to explain, if you feel like that, remember that. We do not beg. It feels like begging. And it also could look like realizing that the validation you used to receive came from self-sacrifice. And that's a hard pill to swallow. But that's okay. Grieve how you want to grieve. Yes, it's not going to look pretty. No type of grief is pretty. It's a whole bunch of different stages, but it's okay to go through all those stages organically. Because at the end, once you shed that, it's going to feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. You can organically and authentically move into your next step or through your next door of opportunities. One of the hardest parts of growth isn't changing your habits. It's grieving the version of yourself that earned that applause. The version that never said no. The version that always accommodated everyone else. The one that loved because you were convenient, predictable, available. When you stop being that person, it can feel like you're losing a piece of yourself. But you're not losing yourself. You're losing the performance. It's okay now. You can close the curtains. You can put down the act. You can take off the costume. You can feel free again. You can be you again. Once you get past those hard stages, you come to realize the things that you're actually grieving. You are not grieving what you used to be. You're grieving the compliments that came from overextending yourself. The relationships that only worked because you abandoned yourself and your needs. You are grieving the certainty that if you kept everyone happy, you'll be accepted. The identity that felt safe, even though it was costing you your peace. So take this time right now and reflect. Where are you making yourself smaller? What opportunity have you been avoiding? Who benefits from you staying quiet? What would you do if you weren't worried about being liked? Where have you mistaken approval for success? I'm going to give you a challenge for this week. It's the bold challenge. For the next 7 days, do one thing that makes you visible. Some ideas are asking the questions, negotiating, not just accepting that one answer, post your work or your content, apply for that next opportunity where it's a new job. If you feel like that job that you're in, you just no longer can do, take that risk and apply. Even if you got denied before, apply again. Share your opinions. If there's an opportunity to introduce yourself, be the first to do it. If you're in a group of coworkers or friends and they're asking for opinions, be the first one to raise your hand. Say what you actually want to say. Don't hold back. I mean, there are ways that if you're at work and I don't want you to get fired, but if it's time for you to stand up for yourself, do it. I want you to do that for the next 7 days. Being nice isn't a weakness, but abandoning yourself to keep everyone else comfortable will always slow your growth. You weren't created to fit into everyone's expectations. You were created to become the fullest version of yourself. Sometimes growth doesn't begin when people start clapping for you. It begins the first time you stop asking for permission to exist fully. This is your invitation to break the pattern of people pleasing. Reclaim your power and become the person who is remembered, not because they were always nice, but because they knew their worth and refused to compromise it. Before we close, we will end this episode with this season's mantra. If you need a little bit more time to gather yourself or just take in everything that you just heard on this podcast, or you just need some time to jot a few more notes down, pause the episode right now and just press play when you are ready. So I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and breathe in and breathe out. I want you to take everything in again. And let go of everything that you're holding in negative in your spirit and your body. Just release it out. Last time, I want you to take it all the way in, down to the soles of your feet. And out. And I want you to repeat after me. I honor what ended. I protect what's healing. I reclaim what's mine. Repeat it. Sit with it. Let it be the reminder that this year is yours fully. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications on my YouTube page at I Am Enough Pod so you never miss an episode. If this message resonated with you, please share it with someone who may need to hear it. You can also follow me on Instagram at iam.enoughmsl. If you're locked in this season, feel free to share a photo of you journaling, your reflections, or this season's mantra on Instagram. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.